all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are gathered here, please accept my humble obeisances. So we are discussing today the intrinsic nature of sadhana bhakti and uttama bhakti, text 2a. So page number 118. Here he said, Idanim bhakti as sadhana bhakti appears in the field of the senses, that is the body, mind and words of the sadhaka jiva. Such bhakti, due to being untainted by karma and jnana, so forth, is pure. So bhakti is to be performed by the body. We should engage in our body in the service of Krishna. Like Ambarish Maharaj, Savai Manaha Krishna Padara Bindayu, Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanu Varnane, Shrutim Chakara Chustat Katodaya, Mukunda Lingale Drashedushu. He engaged all his senses. In eyes, seeing the Lord, hands to sweep the temple of the Lord. That is how we should engage our body. Manasa Deha Geha Jo Kichu Mora, Arpil Tuapade Nanda Kishu. Manasa Deha Geha Jo Kichu Mora, Arpil Tuapade Nanda Kishora. So we should not only offer, say, mango or any fruit to Krishna, but first we should offer our own very self to Krishna. Then only we are doing Shuddha Bhakti. Understand? So Bhakti means offering one's body, mind also. Mind should also dwell on Krishna. Because Ambarish Maharaj showed us Savai Manaha Krishna Padara Vindayu. He applied his mind to the lotus feet of Krishna. So we should always give our mind to Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, 18th chapter, 68th verse, Man manabhav mad bhakto, madhya jimam namaskuru, maam evaisya satyam te pratijani yourself. First, give your mind to me. So therefore, there are so many instructions to engage mind in Krishna's seva. Are cheta, Raghunath Goswami is telling, Are cheta pradyan, kapatakuti nati varakharam, sharan mutre snatva dhasi katam atmanam abhimam. Sadatvam Gandharva Girdharapada Vilasat Sudham Bodho Natva Sababindaram Mamja Sukhaya. My mind engage in service of Krishna. This is the instruction. The words, the vacha, Karvana Manasa Gira. Sometimes words means vacha or gira. Our words should also be for glorification of Krishna. So simply by glorifying Krishna, we can attract Krishna's, if nothing is there, we should always speak sweet words to the devotees also. We should never speak harsh words to them, but try to use very sweet words. Sweet words don't cost any money, but they satisfy all the living entities. And also, such bhakti due to being untainted by karma. So Gurudev was telling about karma mishra bhakti. Suppose I like a mango very much. I bring a mango and offer it to Krishna and I eat that mango. My aim and object is that I will eat that mango, I will get some happiness, and also by taking this mango prasadam, I will become strong and healthy. This type of bhakti is called karma mishra bhakti. Their bhakti is less, their karma is more, fruitive desire is more. Or I am practicing japa and kirtan, but my aim and object is to merge in the impersonal Brahman. Then actually that bhakti is called, that bhakti is not Shuddha Bhakti. Because there is so much desire for impersonal liberation. So, I want to get mystic perfections, like 8 types of mystic perfections by Ashtanga Yoga. Then, although I am chanting the holy name, but because I want these mystic perfections, my bhakti is not Shuddha Bhakti. It is Karma Mishra Bhakti. But wherever there is prominence of bhakti, and karma and jnana, they are subservient to bhakti, then it is called pradhani bhuta bhakti. Means their bhakti is pradhan, bhakti is prominent, and karma and jnana are not so prominent. But here, bhakti should not be covered by karma and jnana. Understand? Bhakti should always be more prominent than karma and jnana. And also said that, moreover, the intrinsic nature of such bhakti, like that of a wish-fulfilling mind, kalpalata, is to bestow all kinds of results. So bhakti is like a wish-fulfilling kalpalata. She can bestow all the results. Like Gurudev was telling about the Namaprad. If you chant Namaprad, material desires will be fulfilled. If you do Namabhas, you will get liberation. If you do Shuddhanam, then Prarabdha Karma also will go away. Yad Brahma Sakshat Kritinishthaya Vina Shamayati Vinana Bhogai Apaiti Nama Spuranena Tatte Prarabdha Karmeti Virauti Veda. Suppose you meditate on the impersonal light which is emanating from Krishna's toenails, Brahma Jyoti, then your prarabdha karma cannot be destroyed. Your aprarabdha karma, the karma that you are going to suffer in the future life, will be destroyed. But your prarabdha karma still you will have to experience. But if you do even, if you chant the holy name, even prarabdha karma will also be destroyed. But if all your prarabdha karma is destroyed, then you will instantaneously die. So in order to maintain your life, what Krishna will do, he will somehow or the other give you some additional karma, some ill health, some accident, some problem he may give, so that your body will carry on. But those sufferings which are bestowed by Krishna cannot be called due to the karma of the devotee. They are special mercy of Krishna, so that the devotee's body is not destroyed. Otherwise, if prarabdha karma becomes nil, the body simply falls down. We die. Understand? So Krishna, if we die, how can we perform bhakti? Understand? So we should try to somehow or other, the first and foremost thing is to maintain our bhakti. First and foremost thing is that we should try to maintain our body. Don't think of committing, say, destruction of the body or suicide. Or many times devotees ignore their health also. They say that, oh, I am not this body, I will ignore the health. No, you should take proper food, proper medicine, and try to take care of this body, because this body is the means of getting perfection. And we should try to use this body for service of Krishna. So, despite this, the only person who takes shelter of this wish-fulfilling wine of bhakti is that greatly fortunate, bee-like person whose sole vow is to exclusively drink the nectar of bhakti rasa. So we should be like honeybees, drinking the nectar of the bhakti rasa. So bhakti rasa, basically there are different types of mellows. What is bhakti rasa? For example, in Bhagavatam the verse comes, Mallanam ashanir narvaro strinam smaru murtiman, Gopanam swajano asatam shitibhujam shastaja pitro shishu, Mrityu bhojapatir virada vidusham tattvam param yoginam, Vrishninam par devatiti virito rangam gata sagraja. So basically, Mallanam ashanir. Ashani means, basically it is thunderbolt. Krishna appeared like thunderbolt to the wrestlers. Strinam smaro murtiman. For women, he appeared like Kamdev personified, Cupid personified. So everyone is having different mellows. Servants are relishing different mellows, like Raktak Patrak. They are relishing a different rasa, different bhakti rasa. Itham satam brahma sukhana bhutya dasyam gatanam paradevatena maya shitanam dardarakena sakam vijjaro krita punya punja. How much pious activity these servants like Raktak Patrak have done, that they can render intimate service to Krishna in Braj. Or how much pious activities, what pious activities these sakhas like Shridham and Vasudham they have done? Actually, they have not done any pious activity. They have not done any sadhana. They are eternal associates of Krishna. But they are so fortunate. Seeing the great good fortune of Subala and Shridham, we can develop that attraction. Aho bhagyam, nanda gopa vrajokasam, yan mitram paramanandam, purnam brahma sanatanam. Oh, Purna Brahma, Parameshwar, Sri Krishna is their friend. What type of fortunate souls are these? And what to speak of the gopis? Etam tanuhutam, Bhugopa Bhadva, Govindaiva Muglatmani, Rudadhava, Vanchante Bhavyo, Munaya Vayam Jakim, Brahma Janma Pirananda Katarasasya. Even that great good fortune of the gopis, even Brahma and Uddhava are hankering for that great good fortune. But they cannot easily receive that. What type of rasa, what type of mellows they are relishing? Understand? So, devotees are like the bumblebees, they drink these different rasas. Krishna is the ocean of rasa. Yeah. So Krishna is like the big lotus flower, and devotees are like bumblebees, and they are relishing the nectar of Krishna. Understand? So, such a fortunate soul is likened to a bumblebee because he vows to maintain his life by drinking honey from this wine and from nowhere else. So, we should only relish bhakti rasa. Mhm. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also says that the devotee should not relish any other rasa but only bhakti rasa. Parihritya gruham kali bhavamayam bhaja bodhruma karana kunja vidu. We should worship the moon of Bodhruma forest, Shri Sachinandan Gaurahari, Navadip Chandra, Shri Sachinandan Gaurahari. We should follow in the footsteps of Sachinandan Gaurahari and we should relish these sweet mellows of devotional service. The fundamental life force of this wine of bhakti is the continual rendering of service to one's worshipful Lord Shri Bhagavan in a manner that is favorable for his well-being and full of affection for him. So basically, this Bhakti Lata has a life force, and that is continual rendering of service to one's worshipful Lord. If you want to render continual service, then you have to remember the example of Hanuman. Hanuman cannot be kept away from Ram for a second. Once they drove away Hanuman, they said, "You cannot serve Ram." Then Hanuman said, "Give me some seva." Then he said, "When Ram will yawn, you should snap your fingers." And when Hanuman was outside the palace, they didn't even let him stay inside the palace. And then Hanuman was snapping his fingers all the time and Ram was yawning. No one could do any seva. So Hanuman, he cannot remain without seva. Then they had to call Hanuman and he said, "You should render seva anyways." So Hanuman is massaging the feet of the Lord. Sometimes he is carrying Lord on his shoulders. Sometimes he is fanning the Lord. So may bringing fruit for the Lord. All services Hanuman is doing. And he is doing in a favorable manner for the well-being of Krishna or Rama. So Hanuman's bhakti is called pure bhakti. Understand? It's Shuddha bhakti. Hanuman is categorized as a premi bhakta, loving devotee. Understand? His love is called prema. Understand? Obviously, the love of Arjun and Nakul Sahadev is much more higher than Hanuman's love. Or Uddhav's love is even much more higher than Hanuman's love. But still, no harm. Hanuman we can follow in the beginning. That's how we should try to serve Krishna like Hanuman. So, in this sacred book's first shower of nectar, Sri Vishnu Thakur established through various types of unassailable logic, argument and scriptural evidence the independent and self-manifesting nature of bhakti. Now, anything that is written in a book should withstand the onslaught of arguments. Now, because a lot of logicians, they actually will argue against the superiority of bhakti over karma, jnana and yoga. So Srila Vishnu Thakur is the crest jewel of all Rasic Vaishnavas, but he's also a great logician. So therefore his logic is unassailable. Unassailable means no one can attack and defeat his logic. Not possible. And to back up his logic, he has given scriptural evidences. Because anything that is you speak should have scriptural basis to it. So he showed that bhakti is completely independent. Doesn't depend on karma, jnana, yoga, high birth, qualities, young age, beauty, education, erudition, mercy, charitable nature, compassion. No, doesn't depend on any of these qualities. Even in the absence of all these qualities, even in the absence of a high birth, अहो बतशपचोतो गरियान ये जिह्वाग्रे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यम epus tapaste juhur sasnararya brahmanuchur naam grananti. Even a person born in a dog-eater family, somehow or other he has a connection with Krishna and Krishna Naam. He is uttering Krishna, Krishna. Oh, he is purified of all the sins. So bhakti is so purifying. Agam dhunvanti karsnena. That all your sins are washed away from the heart because when Bhakti Devi manifests in the heart of the sadhaka. And when Bhakti manifests, Krishna also manifests. Understand? So now in this second shower of nectar is discussed the sequential development of sadhana bhakti. Everything should go step by step. Understand? Not that you whimsically try to do bhakti. For example, you want to get ghee from milk, then you have to follow a process. What is the process? You try to put acid culture in the milk and then it will become yogurt. Then you take that yogurt and you churn it. And when you churn that yogurt, butter will come out. You take a butter in a pan and heat at a very low temperature. Slowly, slowly the butter will be converted to the clarified butter or ghee. That is how you get the ghee from the milk. You cannot directly get the ghee from the milk. So therefore, you cannot directly progress from the Shraddha stage to Prema in a one jump. You cannot have a quantum jump like that. Understand? You will have to go step by step. So what are the steps involved in development of bhakti, sequential development? That Srila Vishwanath Thakur Pad is explaining. Rupa Goswami is also explaining. Adav Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Ata Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivrittisya, Tata Nishtha Rutisata, Ata Saktisata Bhava, Tata Prema Vidanchati, Sadhakana Mayam Premana, Pradurbhavam Bhavitkrama. So devotion that is completely devoid of any desire and hankering other than to serve Krishna. So basically, we only want to serve Krishna. Only one desire in the heart. I want to serve Krishna. And no karma is there. Bhakti should be not contaminated by any fruitive activity, karma. Or monistic knowledge, jnana. It's called Shuddha Bhakti. Understand? So basically, no hankering for any result should be there, material results, no material gain, or no desire of merging in Brahma Jyoti. The nature of Shuddha Bhakti has been compared to a wish-fulfilling vine, that it can more easily be understood. Just as the vine only grows in fertile soil, the wish-fulfilling vine of Bhakti appears only in a fertile heart or in the heart of a devotee who is devoid of selfish desire, Nishkam. So like that in India there are many vines. Like there are vines of grapes, there are vines, bitter gourd is formed, understand? So like that. One time in the Matha, they brought some, also there is like pumpkin, and they are also used for sabji in the Matha. One time they brought some pumpkins and they made sabji out of it, but the sabji was very bitter and devotees fell sick after eating that sabji. So then they discovered that underneath that pumpkin tree, pumpkin creeper, actually a snake was residing. And due to the poisonous vapors emanating from the mouth of the snake, the whole fruit and the whole wine became poisonous. And finally, everyone fell sick when they ate the sabji from that same wine. So snake is so poisonous. Understand? So there are different creepers. They can give different fruit to you. But bhakti is the wish-fulfilling vine. And it will appear only in a fertile land. Not all lands will develop the grape creeper. You cannot grow grapes in all types of soils. Only some states, some parts of Maharashtra like Nasik and all, grapes grow a lot. Understand? It requires a proper soil. So sadhaka, heart should also be fertile heart. Means that devotee is selfish, he cannot develop bhakti easily. But who is completely selfless, he has no selfish desire, such a person will develop bhakti. Like many times I see children, they develop bhakti very easily because they have no selfish desire. They are very innocent. They don't even know what to ask from God. They even don't know that they should ask from God. So no material calculation is there, so they develop pure bhakti very easily. One may ask, since a vine can grow only from a seed, what is the seed of the vine of devotion? Now, this is a question. How can the wine will come? Like grape wine will come from grape seed, and different types of wines manifest from different type of seeds. But what is the seed that grows the bhakti, the creeper of bhakti? So in his teachings of Sri Rupa Goswami, Sriman Mahaprabhu has said, Brahmanda Brahmide Kona Bhagyavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasadi Paya Bhakti Lata Bija Mali Haya Kare Se Bija Aropana Shravana Kirtana Jale Kare Sechana. A jiva who is averse to Krishna roams throughout the universe in various species of life. Now this statement itself explains that why the jiva is wandering in all the universes. It is not a very fun thing. Try to be homeless in New York City even for one day, and then you'll know what I'm saying. Understand? Not to have your own apartment or studio or even a shared accommodation or some rental accommodation, you are paying guest accommodation, at least one bed in a dormitory, you will realize that how tough it is to live without a house or shelter in New York City or any big city in India. Understand? So we have become shelterless, orphaned, abandoned because Krishna didn't abandon us, but we forgot him. So we forgot him, and that's why we are actually suffering so much in different species of life. That is the thing. But while wandering in these universes, after forgetting Krishna, Krishna becomes very compassionate and it sends a very high class spiritual master. And that spiritual master and Krishna together will bestow mercy upon us. Understand? So when good fortune generated by the causeless mercy of exalted personalities arises for him, then by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, he obtains the seed of the creeper of devotion. Understand? So how we develop our Sukriti? One time they asked Srila Bhaktivedanta Sai Maharaj, they said, we got a human form of life and we received a very exalted spiritual master like you. What we have done in the past life that we received a spiritual master like you? And what is what that we have done that we have become devotees? And Srila Bhaktivedanta Sai Maharaj said that no pious activity you had, but I generated your pious activity. It was my causeless mercy. He told like that straight. Understand? So it is only by the causeless mercy of the pure devotees one will have this great good fortune of associating with Dev, developing the taste for the holy name. And then by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, he obtains the seed of the creeper of devotion. The devotee thereafter becomes like a gardener and waters that seed with hearing and chanting. Means once you have the creeper of devotion, you have to nurture that creeper, you have to maintain that creeper. So you have to offer water that creeper. And what is the water? Hearing Harikatha. You should always try to hear Harikatha. Harikatha is the sweetest nectar. And the name, form, qualities and pastimes of Krishna, we should try to hear them. This is the most important thing in sadhaka's life. They should not stop hearing. So then by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, he obtains the seed of the creeper of devotion. The devotee thereafter becomes like a gardener and waters that seed of hearing and chanting kirtana. So devotee should become like a gardener. What gardener will do? Gardener's duties are very clear. Take out the weed and make a nice fence again around the creeper so stray animals don't come and eat the creeper. Understand? So we have to really be very careful about this Bhaktilata, about this creeper of devotion, because it's very, very important. Srimad Mahaprabhu has mentioned this seed of wine of devotion. But what exactly is it? He has not described it explicitly. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.51.53. Bhava pavargo brahmato yada bhavet janasatarhi achyuta sat samagama satsangamo yavi tadaiva satgatu paravareshe tvajayate rati. Oh Achyuta, the Jiva has been wandering in the cycle of birth and death since time immemorial. So how long we've been wandering? No one can tell. Time immemorial. We don't even remember how long we've been wandering in this material world. When the moment of his release from this cycle approaches, he obtains the association of saintly persons. So basically, there is an opportune time will come, and time will come to escape this material world. So, what happens? What Krishna does? He gives him association of high-class saintly persons, and from that association of a high-class saintly persons, his intelligence, which is corrupted, becomes okay again. And understanding you to be the only shelter and the supreme goal for a saintly person. So Krishna is our only shelter, and he is the supreme goal of saintly person. And the origin of all creation, both material and spiritual. So basically, material world is called Ekapad Vibhuti, and spiritual world is called Tripad Vibhuti. But Krishna is the source of both creation, material and spiritual creation. Obviously, spiritual creation is far superior to the material creation, but still, uh, Mahaprabhu accepted these sentiments. At the end of Laghu Toshani commentary on the above mentioned verse, Sri Jugoswami has written, Satsangamena Rati Ankura Rupatva Matir Jayati. In saintly company, an intellect awakens that is likened to the sprout of Rati. By the causeless mercy of exalted devotees, an intelligence is awakened in the heart of the sadhaka that gives rise to Krishna Seva Vasana, the desire to perform Bhagavad Bhajan. So basically, a sadhaka will receive Krishna Seva Vasana, the desire to perform Bhagavad Bhajan and service to Krishna. This desire is called the seed of the wish-fulfilling wine of devotion. In other words, the inclination to serve Sri Bhagavan is the seed of this wine. Understand? What is the seed of the wine? Desire is called a desire to serve Krishna. The inclination to serve Sri Bhagavan is the seed of this wine. When this seed has been watered in the field of sadhaka's senses through the process of Shravan and Kirtan, the devotional creeper sprouts. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Sparanam Parasevanam Arjanam Varnam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsar Pita Vishnu Bhakti Chen Navalakshana Priyate Bhagavati Adhatan Manya Adhitam Uttamam. So what is the topmost knowledge? The rendering service to Krishna, loving devotional service to Krishna, this is the topmost knowledge. There is no knowledge superior to this. So Prahlad is telling that Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, remembering pastimes of Krishna, this is the most important seva. When this seed has been watered in the field of the sadhaka's senses through the process of Shravan and Kirtan, the devotional creeper sprouts. So this creeper of devotion which sadhaka has received, it should be watered. You have to get the water from the sadhaka's senses through the process of Shravan and Kirtan. The devotional service creeper sprouts. So hearing and chanting, so important. By hearing and chanting, what will happen? The devotional creeper will sprout. The favorable execution of service to Sri Krishna is the root of this wish-fulfilling creeper of bhakti. We should try to render service to Krishna, but with a favorable mood. And this is very, very important. The favorable execution of service to Sri Krishna is the root of this wish-fulfilling creeper of bhakti. In other words, the very life of bhakti is to give happiness and satisfaction to Sri Krishna by remembering affectionate service to him in a way that is favorable for his well-being. In Priti Sandarbha, while describing the symptoms of loving devotion to Bhagavan, Sri Jiva Goswami states, Tatha Vishanu Kulyatmakas Tad Anu Kulyanugat Tad Spruha Tad Anubhava Hetu Kullasa Manya Jnana Visheshata. So basically, in Priti Sandarbha, while describing the symptoms of loving devotion service, Jiva Goswami has stated this. Understand? So Krishna is the life and soul of loving devotion or bhakti. This bhakti issues forth moods that awaken a desire to attain him. The desire in turn leads to a realization of him, the Vishaya. An extraordinary understanding of him thus arises, which is characterized by inconceivable joy. The purport is that Shuddha Bhakti, which gives rise to Prema, possesses three features. Understand? Shuddha Bhakti has three features. Number one, that which brings Sri Krishna, the object of Bhakti, satisfaction or pleasure, is the life and soul of Bhakti. In the heart of the devotee, there are no desires other than the desire to serve or provide happiness to Sri Krishna. This is actually a true devotee. In the heart of the devotee, there is no other desire other than the desire to serve or provide happiness to Sri Krishna. And here a question may arise as to why a devotee has a desire to attain Bhagavan. For the response to this, we proceed to the second feature. The desire that manifests within a devotee to attain Krishna is due only to his wish to give happiness to Krishna by serving him. If someone has the desire, I want to give happiness to Krishna, then what will happen? Krishna will, that devotee will develop more desire to see Krishna. Understand? So, this is very, very important. However, suppose the practitioner were completely devoid of personal desire, he should therefore be incapable of striving for his own happiness. In that case, the inherent purpose and value of bhakti is to bestow unlimited, the ultimate goal of life, blissful service, would cease to interest him. Since pure joy derived from long loving devotional service is regarded as the supreme attainment, and we thus proceed to the third feature. Basically, it's told that the pure joy derived from the loving devotional service is regarded as the supreme attainment, and we thus proceed to the third feature. Although a devotee so here although devotee never possesses the slightest desire for his own happiness, he definitely receives unparalleled joy from serving Sri Krishna, who is ecstasy personified. So Krishna is Anandam, he is Anandam Brahma, he is full of bliss. So therefore, even if the devotee doesn't possess the desire to serve Krishna, uh, still he receives some happiness by serving Krishna. Because Krishna is Ananda Brahma. Even if he has no desire in render service, still he will get so much bliss. And from experiencing his own sweetness, that is called love of Bhagwan or Bhakti. A bumblebee wishing to taste only a flower's sweet honey takes shelter of a vine. Similarly, the bumblebee, like devotee, being devoid of all desires other than to serve Sri Krishna, forever take shelter of the wish-fulfilling creeper of devotion in order to taste the honey-like nectar of prema. So this is very important. The first two leaves of the vine of Bhakti, Kleshagni and Shubhada. By its touch, this Bhakti Lata, like a touchstone, gradually dispels the iron-like quality of senses, material tendencies, and transforms the senses into a state of transcendence comparable with the most purified gold. Understand? So Bhakti is like a touchstone, but gradually it will try to purify the heart of the sadhakas. Understand? Meanwhile, fresh sprouts appear. When fully manifest, these sprouts are known as the two leaves of sadhana bhakti. So the creeper of devotion begets two leaves, and they are called the leaves of sadhana bhakti. One leaf is Kleshagni, that which destroys all misery. So you are chanting Harinam, then what will happen? All your miseries will go away. The other is Shubhara, that which bestows auspiciousness. Understand? If you want auspiciousness, then you have to approach this Shubhara. Understand? That is also the potency of the Lord. Here yet another question may arise. Bhakti is a special function of Bhagwan's internal potency, the Sarup Shakti, and is endowed with the symptoms of a supramaterial self-manifesting entity. How can she perform? How can she manifest in the material senses of the sadhaka? The question is, Bhakti is a special function of Bhagwan's internal potency, Rupa Shakti, Sarup Shakti, and is endowed with the symptoms of a supramaterial self-manifesting entity. So, how can she manifest in the material senses of the sadhakas? In answer to this, Srila Vishwanath Thakur says that in the same way that contact with the touchstone transforms even rusty iron into gold, Bhakti by her transcendental touch gradually transmutes the material senses of the sadhaka into extremely pure or transcendental gold-like senses. After taking shelter of the lotus feet of a spiritual master, Guru Padashraya, and that is after receiving initiation and instructions from him, the sadhaka engages in the practice of devotion, bhajana kriya, and gradually the supramundane, extraordinary activity of bhakti begins to appear in his material senses. As the sadhaka engages in the limbs of bhakti like Shravan and Kirtan, bhakti, which is like Sri Bhagavan himself, is transcendental, being supposed, being composed of eternality, knowledge, and bliss, Satchit Ananda, and which is self-manifesting reality, permeates his material senses. As the blazing fire heats pieces of iron, bhakti gradually renders the senses of the sadhaka transcendental. So, as a blazing fire heats iron, bhakti gradually renders the senses of the sadhaka transcendental. For a sadhaka who has attained the stage of rati and bhava, his internal senses or the mind and intelligence become completely spiritualized. And upon reaching the stage of prema, his present physical body, which is composed of five material elements, disappears, and his gradual body of disappears and the spiritual body manifests. Srila Sanatana Goswami has written, Krishna Bhakti Sudha Pana Aicha Dahika Vismrute Dehe Deniga Dehe Dahika Vismrute Tesham Bhaktika Dehepi Sachidananda Rupata. So basically, a sadhaka, Krishna Bhakti Sudhapan, for those who have forgotten their body and things relating to it, drinking the nectar of Krishna Bhakti causes their physical form, which is composed of the five material elements, to gradually disappear, and their form, composed of eternality, knowledge, and bliss, to manifest. Shivan Mahaprabhu has said, प्रभु कहे वैष्णव देह प्राकृत कबुनाय अप्राकृत देह भक्ति सचिदानंदमय. So here Vaishnava Seva Prakrita Kabunai, Aprakrita Dehe Bhaktir Chidanandamai. So this service, दीक्षा काले भक्त करे आत्मसमर्पण, सही काले कृष्ण कार्य करे आत्मसमर्पण, सही देह करे तार चिद आनंदमय, अप्राकृत देह तार चरणम भजे. So the body of a Vaishnava is not material, but rather it is transcendental, aprakrit, and full of transcendental bliss, Chidanandamay. When the bhakti fully manifests himself at the time of receiving Diksha, Sri Krishna accepts him as his own and makes him qualitatively one with him, permeating the bhakta's body with transcendence and bliss. The bhakta then worships the Lord's lotus feet with his spiritual body. In his Anubhashya, commentary on this verses from Sri Chaitanya Jagat Guru Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, at the time of initiation, the devotee being relinquished, having relinquished his material misconceptions and exceptions, becomes equipped with transcendental knowledge of his relationship with Bhagavan. Upon obtaining the divine knowledge he gains the qualification to serve Sri Krishna with his transcendental body. Once the devotee is released from the shelter of Bhagavan's material energy Maya and the misconception that he and that energy are separate from Krishna, Sri Krishna makes him his own. The the devotee then abandons his false conception of being the enjoyer in the realm of mundane sense gratification. And with the desire and with the senses of his soul, he gains realization of his eternal position as a servant of Krishna. In his spiritual body of eternality, cognizance, and bliss, the devotee has realization of the eternal object of service, Sri Krishna Chandra, and attains the qualification to engage in um, service to him with his spiritual body. But even while the devotee internally renders transcendental service to his transcendental body, fruity workers, karmis, due to their fault, mundane intelligence, presume the drivers, the devotees' activities to be much like them, much like their own attempt to attain merciful enjoyment, material enjoyment. As a result of such an offense, they are deprived of the mercy of a transcendental spiritual master. In this regard, Srila Sanatana Goswami's commentaries on verses 1.3.35 and 2.3.45 of Bhagavatam offers uh, helpful insight. Meanwhile, first two the first two leaves of the creeper of devotion emerge. Uh, Meanwhile, the first two leaves on the creeper of devotion emerge. The seed of the wish-fulfilling vine of devotion, which is the desire aroused by the mercy of exalted devotees to perform bhajan of Sri Krishna, is planted in the memory of exalted devotees to perform bhajan of Sri Krishna, is planted in the field of the sadhaka's heart by the grace of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna. That seed, when watered by the process of Shravan and Kirtan, quickly sprouts. Thereafter, the first two leaves appear. These two leaves are called Kleshagni, that which destroys all misery, and Shubhada, that which bestows all auspiciousness. So basically, the creeper of devotion has two uh, leaves, and number one is Kleshagni. Kleshagni has to do with the pure ghee, and Shubhada, that which brings all auspiciousness. So Raga Bhakti and Vaidhi Bhakti, number two. So now we're discussing Raga Bhakti and Vaidhi Bhakti. So the upper side of these two unfurling leaves of sadhana bhakti is characterized by the gleaming softness of devotion impelled by greed, lobha. Sri Krishna has said in Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.38, Yesham aham priyatma sutascha. For my devotees, I am their husband, their very priya, and I am their friend, divine master, well-wisher, benefactor, and worshipful Lord. According to this and according to this and similar statements from scriptures, when the realm of devotion is softened by the purity of one's relationship with Krishna, it attains an excellence that brings it under the jurisdiction of a king named Raga, or ardent attachment. Raga means ardent attachment, which excellent realm is represented by the leaves' smooth upper surface. The universe, the underside of the two leaves is referred to in statements such as Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma. Therefore, O Parikshit, those who wish to be fearless forever should perform worship of Sri Hari, the Lord of all entities. So if you want to be fearless, you should perform worship of Shri Hari. This verse suggests that because such bhakti is characterized as being impelled by the demand and dictates of the scripture, it is somewhat rough. And because such bhakti lacks a pure relationship with the Lord, like that of a beloved and a son, and so forth, it is somewhat dull or inferior. For this reason, the realm of devotion, represented by this underside of the leaf, is under the jurisdiction of a different king named Vaida or regulation. In terms of capacity of to dispel suffering, Kalesha Gnatva, and grand auspiciousness, Shubha Tattva, however, there is almost no difference between Raga Bhakti and Vaidhi Bhakti. Understand? So, in terms of the capacity to dispel suffering, Klesha Gnatva, and grand auspiciousness, Shubha Tattva, however, there is almost no difference between Raga Bhakti and Vaidhi Bhakti. The upper sides of these two leaves of Sadhana Bhakti are extremely soft, smooth and beautiful, and the undersides are rough. Similarly, there are two types of sadhana bhakti. One is raga bhakti, which is rooted in a specific type of reed and is very much soft and beautiful. And the other side is vaida bhakti, which is devoid, which is rooted in the disciplinary injunctions of the scriptures and is somewhat rough. So it is very nice actually this one. So next time I think we'll discuss this more in detail and with examples we'll try to explain this Bhakti Lata Bija. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much. Maharaj, we have a devotee from USA. Mataji is from Jagannath Puri, Rashmita Mataji,
Yes.
and she's just gotten a baby, so she asked if you can please bless them. She's actually taken Harinam from Gurudev, and
Acha.
this year when she goes to Jagannath Puri for Diwali, she said she'd also like to take Diksha from Gurudev. So
Oh,
that's
great.
Mataji, can you please come on camera?
Hare Krishna. Hare
You
Krishna.
can
Oh, very
unmute
nice.
Mataji.
Where does she live in Puri? She lives in Jagannath Puri. आप कहाँ रहते हैं? जगन्नाथपुरी में रहते हैं?
हाँ मैं मतलब हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। गुरुदेव मुझे एक्चुअली मैं पूरी में के सामने रहती हूँ, लेकिन वहीं पे मुझे दीक्षा मिला है चैतन्य गौड़िया मठ में। जब गुरुजी आए थे वहां पे, तो उस टाइम पे मैं वहां प्रेजेंट थी, तो मुझे हरि नाम मिला।
अच्छा, श्रीपाद दंडी महाराज जी से। अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा,
हाँ
भक्तिधाम में से।
हाँ
अच्छा अच्छा, बहुत सुंदर।
हाँ
हाँ, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है क्योंकि ये आपने जो लिया है, यही तो ये आज जो डिस्कशन था ये इसी के बारे में था कि भक्ति लता बीज और भक्ति की जो लता है, और बहुत बहुत करोड़ों योनि में भ्रमण करने के बाद में हमें सदगुरु की प्राप्ति होती है, और सदगुरु हमें कृष्ण सेवा वासना का बीज यानी कृष्ण भक्ति का बीज प्रदान करता है। ठीक है ना?
हाँ
तो ये फिर इसके जो दो पत्ते आते हैं, और ये दो पत्ते जो होते हैं ऊपर वाले जो है चिकने चुपड़े होते हैं, नीचे थोड़े खरदरे होते हैं, ये सब डिस्कशन चल रहा है। इसमें क्लेशग्नि और शुभदा, यानी भक्ति करने से आपके सब क्लेश दूर हो जाते हैं, हरिदैविक आध्यात्मिक अधिभौतिक क्लेश। और शुभ बोले तो सब लोग आपसे प्रेम करने लग जाएंगे, सब आपको लाइक करने लग जाएंगे। ये सब क्लेशग्नि शुभदा मोक्ष लघुता को सुदर्लभा सांद्रानंद विशेष आत्मा श्री कृष्णाकर्षणी जैसा, यही सब भक्ति के जो भक्ति लता की जो 6 पत्ते हैं पहले बताए। और साधन भक्ति करते करते साधक जो है धीरे धीरे भाव भक्ति और उसके बाद में फिर वो प्रेम भक्ति लग जाता है। तो इसको यही बताया। तो बहुत अच्छा, बहुत बधाई हो आपको।
शुक्रिया
अरे
गुरुदेव। आई मीन एक सेकंड गुरुदेव, ये
भक्त्या संजातया भक्त्या विभ्रत उत्पुलकः तनु। So basically we are doing sadhan bhakti, but this sadhan bhakti slowly will lead us to para bhakti. Understand? और आपकी बेटी है क्या बेटा है?
बेटा है।
अच्छा, क्या नाम है इसका?
अव्युक्त नाम रखे हैं और घर का नाम निमाई।
निमाई, बहुत अच्छा निमाई। तो निमाई नाम रखा है तो बहुत अच्छा नाम है, क्योंकि ये चैतन्य महाप्रभु का नाम है।
हाँ गुरुदेव।
हाँ, ये सचिनंदन गौरहरि का ही नाम है निमाई। चैतन्य महाप्रभु का जन्म नीम वृक्ष के नीचे हुआ था।
हाँ।
और भूत प्रेत की बाधा होती है बच्चों को, इसलिए उसका नाम निमाई रखा था कि भाई ये जो भूत प्रेत दूर रहेंगे। नीम से वैसे भी भूत प्रेत थोड़ा दूर ही रहते हैं, इसलिए इसका नाम सची माता ने निमाई रखा था। निमाई विशंबर श्रीनिवास ईश्वर भगत समूह चित चोरा। ठीक है, बहुत सुंदर, उसको भक्त बनाइए। आप तो भक्त है ही। और क्योंकि भागवत में कहा है कि पति न सस्यात्, गुरु न सस्यात्, दैवम न सस्यात्, जननी न सस्यात्, यावन न मोचे समपित मृत्यु। आपको जब तक आप इसको मुक्त नहीं करा सकते, आप कैसे माँ बन सकती हो? तो सच्ची माँ तो वही है जो अपने बच्चे को भक्ति में नियुक्त करके उसका जन्म मरण रूपी बंधन से उसको मुक्त करके सदा के लिए कृष्ण के चरण में वो गोलोक में चला जाए। ये भावना से बच्चे का परवरिश करना है। ठीक है ना? ये जो दुख उसने अनुभव किया है माँ के पेट में, सर नीचे पैर ऊपर, और बहुत कष्ट में हर जीव जन्म लेता है। हमने भी ऐसे ही जन्म लिया है, हमको याद नहीं, मगर हम सब लोगों ने इतना दुख में 9 महीने बिताकर हमने जन्म लिया है। तो कितना सारा वेदना इस दुनिया में, कितने प्रकार की वेदनाएं हम अनुभव करते हैं। आजू बाजू आप देखेंगे कैसे बीत रहा है। जैसे अभी यूक्रेन पर बम डाले, बेचारों को खाना पीना भी मुनासिब नहीं हो रहा है। कैसी अवस्था है, कैसा लग रहा है तृतीय विश्व युद्ध आरंभ हो जाएगा। तृतीय विश्व युद्ध आरंभ हो जाएगा तो क्या है, बड़ा नामुमकिन। अभी श्रीलंका में देखो दाल चावल भी नहीं मिल रहा है। हम लोग कितने भाग्यवान है, भोजन मिल रहा है हम लोग को। ये बहुत ही दुर्लभ हमको, लब्ध्वा सुदुर्लभम बहुसंभवान्ते मानुषम अर्थन मनित्यम अपिय धीरा तूर्णम यतेत्न पतितन मृत्य यावत् निश्रेयसाय विषया खलु सर्वतस्य। We have received this human form of life. This is very rare form. We should try to utilize it properly. Not a moment should be wasted. Bhagavatam actually, one verse is quoted twice in Bhagavatam. Generally, Bhagavatam doesn't repeat the verse. Tulayami lave napi na swargam na punarbhamam Bhagavad Sangi Sangasyam Arthanam Kimuta Shisha. No comparison. We cannot comparison how beneficial is the association of sadhus. साधु का संग कितना हमारे लिए फायदे का है हम बता नहीं सकते। उसको उसकी तुलना भी नहीं कर सकते। भक्ति की तुलना नहीं कर सकते। साधु संग का महात्मा नहीं बता सकते। These are incomparable things. ज्ञानमसि तुलितं च तुलायां प्रेम नैव तुलितं तुलायां सिद्धिरेव तुलितत्र तुलायां कृष्ण नाम तुलितं न तुलायां। ये जो ज्ञान भी दो प्रकार का होता है। एक ब्रह्म ज्ञान होता है। ब्रह्म ज्ञान भी दो प्रकार का है। एक ब्रह्म ज्ञान क्या है, साहित्य मुक्ति की तरफ लेके जाता है। ये तो ज्ञान नहीं है, ये तो फायदा नहीं है इसका। ऐसा उसको फॉलो करने से कोई फायदा नहीं है यदि साहित्य मुक्ति की तरफ लेके जा रहे तो हमें तो भक्ति चाहिए। We don't want to merge in the impersonal light emanating from Krishna's toenails. We don't want to merge. That type of knowledge which leads to impersonal liberation is not desirable by the Vaishnava. But we want the knowledge which will take us to the service of Krishna. Understand? So basically, three Vishayas: Artha, Dharma, Kama, economic development, sense gratification, mundane religiosity for elevation to the heavenly planets. This three varga, that type of knowledge is not very beneficial. But we should try to hanker for upper varga. Upper varga means liberation. But even more than liberation, we should try to hanker for bhakti. Because even the little bit tinge of desire for liberation also is not helpful for bhakti. Understand? So bhakti, Shuddha bhakti means not even hankering for liberation. What to speak of material sense gratification. Understand? So devotees, they reject liberation. Understand? There was a devotee, he was chanting holy name, and when someone knocked on his gate, then he said, "Who is knocking at my gate?" Then that person said, "I am liberation. I am mukti personified." And then the devotee said, "No, you should not come to me. Because if I accept liberation, bhakti will vanish. यदि कात्म मुक्ति रूपागतस्म होती कस्मात् अकस्मात् यह श्री कृष्ण श्री कृष्ण स्मरणेन भवतो दासी पदम प्रापिता दूरे तिष्ठ मनागसनागर कुर्याद मार्यमय तो गंधानिज नाम चंदन रस लेपस लोपो मैं यदि मुक्ति का वर्णन करता हूँ तो भक्ति तो नष्ट हो जाएगी। तो मुक्ति भक्तों को मिल जाती है ऑटोमेटिक, मगर भक्ति के लिए वो मुक्ति की स्पृहा नहीं रखता है। मुक्ति मुक्ति स्पृहा विहीन जो भक्त, हम लोग को किसका संग करना है? जो लोग मुक्ति और मुक्ति की कामना नहीं है, ऐसे रहित शुद्ध वैष्णव का हमें संग करना है, ठीक है ना? So we should try to associate with such type of devotees. Try to develop this sentiment. So today's class, actually, Raga Bhakti, Vaidhi Bhakti is explaining to us. Raga means actually what is Raga? Raga means an attachment to Krishna. Raga means one type of Vaidhi Bhakti, one type of Bhakti is calculated Bhakti. That is Vaidhi Bhakti. Will this be beneficial for me or will this be not beneficial for me? When this type of calculation is there, that is Vaidhi Bhakti. Out of the fear of for going to hell. So, but there is a spontaneous Bhakti also is there. This spontaneous Bhakti is called Raga Bhakti. Raga means prem, very deep prem. Understand? So here, Srila Vishwanath Thakurpad is actually guiding us. Vishwasyanatha Rupaso Bhakti Varta Pradarshana Bhakta Chakre Varti Tattvat Chakra Vartakhya Bhavat. इनका नाम विश्वनाथ इसलिए कि ये विश्व के नाथ इसलिए कि भक्ति का मार्ग प्रदर्शित करते हैं. He illuminates the path of devotion. That's why it's called Vishwanath. And he's always surrounded by the great devotees. Understand? So Srila Vishwanath Thakur, you see that he has written commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. Such hard work he has done for us. He lived for such a long lifespan and, such exalted Vaishnava. This Madhurya Kadambini is not an ordinary book. Srila Gurudev used to give so much importance to this book, and we heard the lectures of this book also. So Bhakti Lata Beach. But we should be very, very careful of offenses, because Srila Gurudev has mercifully given us the Harinam and the Diksha mantras, but we should never criticize any Vaishnavas. Understand? Because Parasvabhava Karmani na samshet na kareet. Parasvabhava Karmani na samshet na kareet Vishwam ekatmakam paschan prakritya purushena. Don't criticize anyone, even if that person's conduct is not good. किसी का आचरण भी ठीक नहीं है, फिर भी उसका निंदा मत करो. समझ में आया? क्योंकि निंदा करने से क्या हो जाएगा? उसके दुर्गुण हम में आ जाएंगे और फिर हमारा पतन हो जाएगा. So we should be very, very careful that what we have got from the mercy of Gurudev, my Gurudev, Sripad Dandi Maharaj, you should try to know that value of it. Understand? And don't, disregard it. And don't give it to those who don't value it. You go all of a sudden to someone and you start telling him the glories of the holy name. It is like giving, throwing halwa to a swine. Understand? जैसे होता है ना, हमारे जैसे बहुत सारे ऐसे सुअर घूमते रहते हैं, उनको हम हलवा दो तो नहीं खाएंगे, वो तो गंदा चीज ही खाएंगे. उसी तरह बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग होते हैं कि जिनको हरिनाम का महात्म्य बताना भी अपराध होता है. तो नाम अपराध से हमें बचना चाहिए. अश्रद्धा जिसकी श्रद्धा नाम में नहीं है, उसको नाम का महात्म्य बताना ठीक नहीं. उसको सबसे पहले भक्ति परक कर्म बताओ, जिससे उसको सुकृति मिले. उसको बोला मंदिर में आइए, प्रसाद पाइए, एकादशी करिए, ऐसी बात उनको बताइए. एकदम उनको नाम महात्मा नहीं बताना चाहिए. ठीक है ना? ये सब शास्त्र की बात है. यहाँ पर जो हम लोग को पहले गुरु को समर्पण करना चाहिए. सब कुछ गुरु को समर्पण करके हमें भक्ति करना चाहिए. भक्ति की जो रीढ़ की हड्डी है वो है गुरु निष्ठा. The backbone of bhakti is the nishtha for Guru, dedication to the spiritual master. Yasya deva para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasthete katatai artha prakashante mahatmana. We should have very strong faith in Guru. We should think that, yes, only by the mercy of Guru I will get Krishna bhakti. Krishna will not be pleased unless I please my Guru Maharaj. One should try to wake up before Gurudev wakes up. One should go to sleep after Gurudev goes to sleep. We should not be very proud of aristocratic birth. Understand? We should offer everything to Krishna. For example, there is a devotee who is giving $15 million to Gurudev in charity, but he has not offered his own self to Gurudev. That is not so elevated. But there is a very poor devotee, but he has offered his body, mind, wife, children, all his possessions to Gurudev. But he is very poor, and he is serving Gurudev 24 hours like a Hanuman. Then that devotee who is poor but who is completely dedicated to Gurudev is superior than a person who is giving $15 million in charity. Understand? We should offer, don't offer mango leaf, patram pushpam palam tuyam yume bhaktya prayachati. Krishna will not fully accept your mango unless you offer your own self to him first. Those who are not fully surrendered, Krishna will accept their mango only 1%, 5%, 10%, 20%. He will not 100% accept their mangoes. But if someone like Kolavecha Shridhar, they don't want to offer to Mahaprabhu, but Mahaprabhu is going and by force snatching vegetables from him or bargaining. Kolavecha Shridhar used to sell vegetables, plantain trunks, sometimes plantain flowers. महाप्रभु उसके पास में जाते थे और बोलते थे, अरे सब्जी लाओ, अरे बोलते तुम सब्जी का दाम थोड़ा कम करो. अरे वो कहते थे, कुलावेचा श्रीधर कहते थे, सब्जी तो मैं पहले ही वो सस्ते में बेचता हूँ. मेरे बगीचे में जो सब्जी होती है वो मैं सस्ते में बेचता हूँ, ज्यादा तो दाम बताता नहीं हूँ, और जो भी मुनाफा आता है उसमें से आधा तो मैं गंगा जी की पूजा के लिए इस्तेमाल करता हूँ. तो महाप्रभु कहते थे, गंगा जी मेरे चरण के धोवन है, गंगा जी मेरी दासी है. अरे तुमको गंगा का भी डर नहीं लगता है? Kolavecha Shridhar कहता था. So Mahaprabhu used to tell Kolavecha Shridhar that please give me vegetables cheaper rate. He said, already giving very reasonable rate the vegetables from my garden. Then Mahaprabhu used to bargain with him, and then finally he used to take at a very less rate. He used to say that I use this profit, half of the profit for the worship of the Ganga river. And Mahaprabhu used to say that, oh, Ganga is my maid servant. Understand? Then he said, oh, see, he is not even afraid of Ganga. He couldn't recognize Mahaprabhu, that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Naham prakasham sarvasya yogamaya samavruta. These pure devotees, like Kolavecha Shridhar, are completely covered by yogamaya, that they never and never could recognize that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when Mahaprabhu exhibited this Mahaprakash Leela, that time Mahaprabhu revealed to him his Shadbhuj form, and then he realized his Supreme Lord. Understand? So therefore the pure devotees like Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, Shridham, Dham, Vasudham, they can never and never, Yogamaya will never let them know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Understand? But in case of Vasudeva, in case of Arjun, you see that when Arjun and Vasudeva Maharaj, when Vasudeva saw the forearm form of Krishna, Vishankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and then Arjun saw the Vishwarup form, what happened? Oh, their Aishwarya Gyan, understand? Their Aishwarya Gyan actually manifested. They develop some sentiment that he is the Supreme Lord. But the Brajavasis, their love is so selfless and unalloyed, absolutely that conception doesn't enter their heart that he is the Supreme Lord. Their only mood is that he is our friend, he is our beloved, he is our son. Mother Yashoda will tell Krishna, oh Krishna, I will not take you in my lap and I will not give you my breast milk. And Krishna is crying. Understand? He is Vishwambar, is feeding the whole world. But Mother Yashoda sometimes says, oh, I will not give you my milk. And Krishna is scared. He is crying, oh mother, please give me your breast milk. Like this. So, that type of bhakti, but it has some progression. It will not come in one day. It will slowly, from Shraddha, Nishtha, Anartha Nivritti. So many anarthas will be discussed in this book. Aparadha Uttanartha, Bhakti Uttanartha. All these anarthas, we have to be very, very careful. How to their praiki, how their partial removal of these unwanted habits, full removal, all these things will be discussed. Actually, so I am so happy that you are attending these lectures. अब मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. आप जगन्नाथपुरी की है. जगन्नाथपुरी में हमारे और भी भक्त है. मैं तो बहुत बार आता था. राधा दामोदर हमारा जो जय श्री दामोदर गौड़िया मठ में।
हाँ प्रभु
और
जी।
बहुत अच्छा है, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम बहुत अच्छा है। ये विप्रलंबक क्षेत्र है।
हाँ
महाप्रभु ने वहां पर विप्रलंबक आस्वादन किया था। सिंचन सिंचन नयन पैसाम पांडुगंड स्थलांतम मुंचन मुंचन प्रतिमहरो दीर्घ निश्वास जातम उच्च क्रंदन कर्ण करणो दीर्घा हयति नादो गौरहा कूपी व्रज विहरिणी भाव मग्न चकास्ति। Mahaprabhu was absorbed there in the mood of Vraja Viharini Radha, tears flowing from his eyes. Understand? He was experiencing the highest mood, Madhanakya Mahabhav there, meeting in separation and separation in meeting, experiencing the Vira and Milan in Vira. What to speak of that? Mahaprabhu used to dance in front of Jagannath. And Mahaprabhu, there were actually 7 kirtan parties. In each kirtan party, there was a one lead singer and 2 backup singers. And 2 were chorus singers. There were 2 persons playing the mridanga, 2 devotees playing mridanga. And there were 2 dancers in each party. And there were 4 parties were dancing before the Rath of Jagannath. Two parties were dancing on the 2 sides of the Jagannath chariot, and 1 party was behind the Jagannath chariot. 7 parties were there, and Mahaprabhu used to dance in all the 7 parties at the same time. No one could see. Uh, Everyone used to think that, oh, Mahaprabhu is dancing with my party only. But Kashi Mishra, Sarvam Bhattacharya, they saw that Mahaprabhu is in all the parties. And they were wonderstruck. See, this is opulence. This is opulence. But in, see, Jagannath Puri also little opulence is there. But in Nimai's pastimes, in Navadvip, there is no opulence. There is a lot of opulence, but it is completely covered. Madhurya has completely covered the Aishwarya. Understand? So that's why this book is called Madhurya Kadambini. What is Madhurya Kadambini? Madhurya का अर्थ होता है मनुष्य जैसी लीला, नरवत लीला को ही माधुर्य कहा गया है, जहाँ ईश्वरता का भाव नहीं है। ठीक है ना? जैसे मैया यशोदा एक अपनी माँ, जैसे आपको अनुभव है, आपका बच्चा है तो बच्चों का आप कभी मुंह खोलती हो तो उसके दांत दिखाई देते हैं। अरे कितना आनंद होता है माँ को, अरे मेरे बच्चे के छोटे छोटे दांत आ रहे है कि नहीं? वैसे मैया यशोदा भी को आनंद होता है कृष्ण के दांत देखने से। तो मैया यशोदा कृष्ण के दांत देखती है, अरे कितने सुंदर एकदम सफेद सफेद दांत है, अरे मेरे दूध के जो स्तन का दूध है उससे भी ज्यादा सफेद इसके दांत है। मैया यशोदा बढ़िया खुश हो जाती है। ये जो भाव है न मैया यशोदा का, यही तो रागात्मिका भक्ति है। और ये रागात्मिका भक्ति के अनुगत्य में जो भक्ति की जाती है उसको रागानुगा भक्ति कहते हैं। और ये रागानुगा प्राप्त करने के लिए हमें जो ये माधुर्य कादम्बिनी और रागवर्त्म चंद्रिका ये सब ग्रंथों का अनुशीलन करना। So we should try to study these books very, very carefully. Gurudev has left us a big treasure. We should try to read these books again and again till the point sinks in our heart. So Gurudev said, don't gossip this and that, my problem. Don't discuss the problems, understand? But we should try to discuss this sweet Harikatha with each other. Machchitta madgata prana bodhayantas parasparam kathantisya mam nitya tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Devotees always discuss sweet, sweet pastimes, and there Krishna is present. Krishna says, Naham tishtami vaikunte yogina murdev viva mad bhakta yatra gayanti tishtami narada. Where my devotees sing sweet pastimes of mine, that is the place where I stay. That's why Harikatha, we should try to hear. If there is no attachment for Harikatha and only following Varnashram Dharma for elevation to the heavenly planets or whatever whatever it may mean for, such Varnashram Dharma is useless. Understand? Must develop taste for Harikatha. वर्णाश्रम धर्म इज हेल्पफुल। जो आपने गृहस्थ जन्म धर्म स्वीकार किया उसको मैं रिजेक्ट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, गृहस्थ धर्म स्वीकार करना चाहिए, कोई ना कोई आश्रम को स्वीकार करके उसमें रह के भजन करना चाहिए। मगर ये जो है, ये जो गृहस्थ आश्रम है, ये इसमें ये अंधकूप नहीं होना चाहिए। डोंट लेट योर हाउस होल्डर लाइफ टू बिकम अ ब्लाइंड वेल। व्हाट इज अ ब्लाइंड वेल? Blind well is where someone is walking into the forest and sometimes there are some dry wells, they cover it with the hay and all of a sudden a passerby will fall in that well. There is crying, so much shouting, no one will hear his shouts, and there is no water in the well, he will die. So where the sadhus don't come to your houses, then that is householder life is like a blind well. But if sadhus are coming and you are respecting sadhus, Guru Maharaj is coming, you are hearing his lectures, you are serving him, then actually your householder life is not an andhaku. Such householders, they are actually exalted. So if you are a householder, no harm. Try to be like Draupadi, try to be like Pandavas, they are also householders. Gopis also were householders. And Advaitacharya also married twice. Nityananda Prabhu also married two wives, no harm. But they were exalted. Shiva's Pandit also married, Grasta. Mahaprabhu also married twice. Later on he took sannyas, but he was also Grasta before. 24 years Mahaprabhu was householder life. Try to be like Mahaprabhu. Try to follow like Mahaprabhu, like Rupa Goswami. Understand? Raghunath Goswami also married. But slowly, if they become detached. Understand? So bhakti, anyone can do. Bhakti कोई भी कर सकता है. एक माँ भी कर सकती है. अरे देखो, माँ को क्या करना पड़ता है? बच्चों को लोरी सुनाना पड़ता है. अब लोरी सुनाने के लिए अलग अलग गाने रहते हैं, है कि नहीं? माँ का तो एक काम रहता है कि लोरी गाओ बच्चों को सोने के लिए, मगर उसको जो है भगवान के भजन, जैसे गोपियां भी अपने बच्चों को सुना रही है तो ये नहीं बोलेगी वो ट्विंकल ट्विंकल लिटिल स्टार आई वंडर, वो नहीं. गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति, गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति, गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति, गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. क्वचित् प्रभाते दधिपूर्ण पात्रे निक्षिप्य मंथम युवती मुकुंदम आलोक्य गानम विविधम करोति, गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. She has taken some yogurt and she's put a churning stick in it, and with a rope she's churning the yogurt, and what she's doing? Oh, Yashoda is calling Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Is it very difficult to chant his names?
No.
परजंगिका भाजमलम कुमार. जब पल्ले में बच्चे को सुला रहे, बच्चा सो नहीं रहा है, रो रहा है, तो बस गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति, गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. तो यही करना है. You should try to only say there should be no other sound should come. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Hare Krishna, mantra. यद ब्रह्म साक्षात कृतनिष्ठयापि विनाशम आयाति विनान भोगे अपैति नाम स्फुरेण दत्ते प्रारब्ध कर्मेति विरौति वेदा. This prarabdha karma, this body is manifest from prarabdha karma, cannot be destroyed. This prarabdha karma cannot be destroyed very easily. Even you meditate on the impersonal Brahma, that will destroy your prarabdha karma, what you are going to suffer in the future lifetimes. But prarabdha karma will be destroyed by meditation on impersonal light emanating from the toenail of Krishna. Oh, but prarabdha karma cannot be destroyed by that Brahma Dhyan. Oh, but that Harinam, even Harinam, if you chant Shuddhanam, prarabdha karma also be completely destroyed. Understand? But it should be Spuran, first Seva. अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादिन भवेत् ग्राह्यम इंद्रिय सेवन मुखे जीवादो स्वयमेव स्फुरत्यदा. स्फुरति, स्फुरत. The word spura is coming in this shloka. Understand? So therefore, there is no difference between Murari and Murari's name. Krishna and Krishna's name, no difference is there. Jayati Jayati Namananda Rupam Murare. Viramitanaja Dharma Dhyana Puja Diyatna. So much hard work is there in deity worship. So much hard work is doing in meditation, going to Himalayas, Vairagya, austerities, yoga. There so much hard work is there. But all this hard work, no need. You simply chant Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Oh, easily. It is not very difficult. Anytime, every time, in happiness and distress. Sometimes happiness may come, sometimes distress may come. Sukhavasane tvidameva saram, dukkhavasane tvidameva geyam, dehavasane tvidameva japyam, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Even at the time of death, chant the name of Krishna. Bhagavatam says, Ante Narayana Smriti. The success of life is that at the time of death you can remember Narayan, Krishna. Understand? So if you are all life, you are doing Govinda Damodar Madhaveti 24 hours a day, then definitely at the time of death, you will remember Krishna by Krishna's mercy. Understand? So have full faith. Jaiti Jaiti Namananda Rupam Murare. Mura was a very dangerous demon. And Krishna killed him. So Krishna's name became Murari. Understand? No difference between Murari, Krishna and Krishna's name. But there is still some speciality in the holy name. हरिनाम में एक वैशिष्ट है कि वाच्यम वाच्यक मित्ति देति भगवतो नाम स्वरूपो द्वयम पूर्वस्मात् परमेव हंत करुणम तत्रापि जानी मैं यस्तस्मिन् विहता पराधने वा प्राणी समन्ता भवे दास्य नेदम उपास्य उपै सदानंदा मुदो मज्जति। भगवान के वाच्य वाचक, भगवान का वाचक रूप है उनका नाम और वाच्य है स्वयं भगवान। Bhagwan's name nomenclature, Bhagwan's name and Bhagwan, they are not different, but still there is a comparison, there is a gradation. Bhagwan is not as merciful as his holy name. A sadhaka like us, who's a conditioned jiva, sometimes we have pure, sometimes we are very impure condition. Sometimes we are able to take bath, sometimes sick, cannot take bath for 3 or 4 days. Understand? In such an impure condition, Krishna temple we cannot go, we cannot read Bhagavatam, but we can chant the holy name anytime, every time, even in unclean state, even while passing stool, even in the latrine, anywhere, you can chant the holy name. Is there any other process as merciful as this? Not possible. And who will not benefit? A chandalam amukalo sulovo. A chandalam, even chandal. Chandal means one who is dog eater. जो कुत्ते का मांस खाता है उसको चांडाल कहते हैं। ऐसा भी आदमी यदि भगवान का नाम जप करता है तो शुद्ध हो जाता है। और कोई भी प्रायश्चित्त नहीं है, प्रायश्चित्त वैष्णव को कोई जरूरत नहीं है। यदि अनजान में उनसे पाप हो गया है पूर्व जन्म में, यदि किसी ने गाय का मांस खाता है, पहले कई डांस गाय का मांस खाया है, सब चोरी भी किया है, मर्डर भी किया है, जैसे अजामिल था, मगर क्या हुआ फिर? प्रियमाणों मरने के समय में उसने नारायण नाम उच्चारण किया। ये नारायण नाम से क्या हो गया? ये नामाभास से भी उसके सब पाप जल के भस्म हो गए। इसे तो गोस्वामी तुलसीदास जी ने कहा है, भाय कुहाय अनख आलसहु नाम जपत मंगल दिसिदसहु सांकेत्यं पारिहास्यं वा स्तोभं हेलनमेव वा वैकुंठ नाम ग्रहणम अशेषागरम। Bhagwan's name is also Vaikuntha and Bhagwan is also Vaikuntha. Understand? Bhagwan's abode is also Vaikuntha. Bhagwan lives in Vaikuntha, his name is also Vaikuntha, Krishna. So Vaikuntha is the name of Krishna. So if you chant the name of Vaikuntha or Krishna, oh, knowingly, unknowingly, jokingly, whether you know the glories of the holy name or whether you don't know the glories of the holy name, if you chant the holy name, it will purify. And that's why the baby sometimes cannot sing, and we can utter the holy name, and then it will enter the ear of the baby and it will purify his heart. Understand? Because Namaikasya Vachi Smarnabat Gatam Sutra Mulam Gatam Va Shuddham Va Shuddha Varanam Devata Taretteva Satyam Tachita Deha Draminata Lova Pashanda Madde Nikshiptam Sanda Fadarakam Shigram Evata. If the holy name will enter the ears also, that's why in your local area you do Nagar Kirtan. If you cannot do Nagar Kirtan, you do home Kirtan. Alone you can clap and chant Haribol, Haribol, Krishna, Krishna. Not difficult. Anywhere, anytime, we should try to sing the names of Krishna. So this भगवान का नाम कीर्तन कभी भी नहीं छोड़ना चाहिए। कृष्णस्य नानाविध कीर्तनेषु तो नाम कीर्तनम एव सत्तमम, the superlative degree. The Nama Kirtan has been given in Bhagavatam superlative degree. There are different types of Kirtan, Rupa Kirtan, Guna Kirtan, but Nama Kirtan is the topmost. Because in the name, Rup, Guna and Lila are stored in there. भगवान के नाम में रूप गुण लीला समाहित है, इसलिए नाम कीर्तन का महात्म्य बताया है। इसलिए ये बहुत आसान है। यदि मन ज्यादा चंचल हो जाता है तो नाम कीर्तन करना चाहिए। And also sometimes to assist us to develop the taste and eradicate the offenses, we should also every day sing some bhajans praying to Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gurudev, Vaishnavas, Radha Krishna, Lalita Vishakha, Vrinda Devi. Some bhajan should also be sung. तो गीते गुच्छ है हिंदी में, उसमें कुछ भजन आप गा सकते हैं, ठीक है ना। उड़िया में भी किया था मधुसूदन प्रभु वगैरह ने, और जो है तो उत्तम कृष्ण प्रभु जो है उन्होंने उड़िया भी गीते गुच्छ रेडी किया है, उससे आप भजन को सीख लेना, ठीक है ना, और उसको आप गाना। वेरी गुड। हरे कृष्ण, धन्यवाद।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण, हरे बोल, धन्यवाद। हरे
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Sati Mataji, you want to sing?
सची माता जी, प्लीज सिंग सम भजन।
Sati Mata, please unmute.
हरे
Okay.
बोल।
Hari Bol. Yes, I
Krishna.
will sing. Naktajal. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for this,
हरे कृष्ण, हरे
for the knowledge and everything. Now you're going to help me to sing because I'm going to sing my Shingadev song.
ओके,
So I'm going to sing and you're going to chorus.
श्योर,
And I'm
विद
going to
दस
be
देयर विल बी नो ऑब्स्टिकल्स।
and I'm going to be knocking the jar.
हरे बोल।
So, Namaste Narasimhaya.
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय,
Namaste Narasimhaya.
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय,
Prahlada-lada-dayini.
प्रह्लाद दायिने,
Prahlada-lada-dayini.
प्रह्लाद दायिने,
Hiranyakashipu Rakshaha.
हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः,
Hiranyakashipu Rakshaha.
हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः,
Tilatanganakalaye.
शिलटङ्कानकालये,
Tilatanganakalaye.
शिलटङ्कानकालये,
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
अयितो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह,
Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimho.
अयितो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह,
Yatu yatu yami tato Narasimha.
यत यत यामि ततो नरसिंह,
Yatu yatu yami tato Narasimha.
यत यत यामि ततो नरसिंह,
Bahe Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
बहे नरसिंह हृदय नरसिंह,
Bahe Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
बहे नरसिंह हृदय नरसिंह,
Narasimhadam Sharanam Prapade.
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे,
Narasimhadam Sharanam Prapade.
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे,
Tava Kara Kamala Hare Naka Abhuta Singam. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bingam. Tava
तव कर कमल मरे नाकाम अद्भुत श्रृंगार, दलिता हिरण्यकशिपो तनु भृंगार,
Tava Kara Kamala Hare Naham अभूतसिंहम् ललिता हिरण्यकशिपो तनुभृङ्गम्
अदरकमलवरेणाघाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गाम् दलिताहिरण्यकशिपो तनुभृङ्गाम्
केशवदेश नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
अकेशमद्रिता नरनिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे
केशवदेश नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
एकेशमद्रिता नरनिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे
नाता अभूत सिंहा चालिताय तानविंगा
केशवद्रिता नरनिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे
जय जगदीश हरे
स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे
जय नरसिंह
जय नरसिंह दे जय नरसिंह दे नरसिंह दे जय नरसिंह दे जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सदि गौर भक्त वृंद Hare Krishna.
हरि
Now
बोल हरि बोल
let me Hare Krishna. I'll read the meaning and then you will. I offer my obeisance to the Lord Narsinga, who
हाँ
give joy to Prahlad and whose nails are like chisel on the stone-like chest of the demon Haranyakashipu. Lord Narsimha is here and also there. Wherever I go, Lord Narsimha is there. He is in the heart and he is outside as well. I surrender to Lord Narsimha, the origin of all things and the supreme refuge. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, I, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of half man, half lion, all glories to you. Just as one can easily crush a rock between one fingernail, So, in the same way, the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nail on your beautiful lotus hand. Hare Krishna, Dhanyabad,
Haribo,
Dhanyabad.
Hare. This one actually, this
Hmm.
this one actually has one particular type of ornament of speech. Uh, there are different types of ornaments,
Huh?
literary ornaments. So one of these is Gita Govinda. This particular song is introduced by Sri Jiva Goswami.
Okay.
Tavakara Kamala Vari. Now the hands of Lord Krishna or
Hmm.
Nrsimhadev are compared to the Kamala. Kamala means lotus. Tavakara
Oh.
Kamala Vare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam.
Oh.
So Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bhrangam. Uh, Generally speaking, bumblebees. The bumblebees, they're black in color. They drink the honey from the lotuses, and they are the one who actually enjoy the lotuses. But here, the lotus-like hands of Narsinga, they were tearing apart the bumblebee-like Hiranyakashipu. Means here the reverse is thing is happening. Understand? Generally speaking, the lotus will be enjoyed by the bumblebee. Means it is whose bumblebee. Here the opposite is happening. Now the lotus is now tearing apart the bumblebee. So here the Hiranyakashipu is compared to the bumblebee. This is called this is actually different type of ornaments of speech are there. Understand? So Jayadeva Goswami was a transcendental poet. He was not an ordinary poet. In the court of King Lakshman Sen, there were different types of poets. Different poets were there. But among them, the best one was Jayadeva Goswami. Vacha Pallaveti Umapati Dhara Sandarbh Siddhim Gira Janite Jayadeva Visharana Swagyo Druhadrute Sangarat Parma Satprame Rachane Acharya Govardhana Sparati Kopina Vishuddha Shuddharo Bhuika Vishwamati. There are different poets like the Doi and Umapati Dhar and also so many poets were there. But the best poet is Jayadeva Goswami. His poetry is aprakrut. When Mahaprabhu he used to relish this in Gambhira, the poetry of Jayadeva Goswami, Vidyapati, Chandidas. Understand? So these particular, we should always pray to Narsingadev because there are many obstacles come in our bhakti, especially living in country which is not like India. You may have a afraid of even your life. Understand? So you should always take shelter of Narsingadev. Those who pray to Lord Narsingadev actually understand the position of Narsingadev. Narsingadev is nothing but manifestation of Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra. Ambarish Maharaj was doing Ekadashi and Krishna had told the Sudarshan Chakra, please always protect, guard Ambarish. Understand? So Chakra of Vishnu is always at the side of the devotees, pure devotees to protect them. So similarly, if you pray to Narsingadev, then Narsingadev will remove your material desires and will give you protection from Maya and also enemies. Understand? So that's why this when Mahaprabhu was doing Sankirtan, Mahaprabhu sent Sankirtan parties of the devotees to different regions in Navadvip. But one time when Muslim Chandkazi, he broke the mridangas. He broke the mridangas and he chastised devotees and he told them not to do kirtan. That same night, Narsingadev appeared to him and was he planted his sharp nails on his chest. And he said, next time you break the mridanga, I'll tear open your chest. And he was so scared actually, Chandkar. So that don't worry, but Narsingadev is always there to protect you.
Thanks.
So Prahlad Hridayallada Bhakta Vidya Dharanam Sharadendu Ruchim Mande Parindram Vadanam Harim. Prahlad Hridayallada, he is giving bliss to Prahlad. Understand? Prahlad Hridayallada Bhakta Vidya Vidharanam. Bhakta Avidya. The devotee has some avidya. Avidya means ignorance of Krishna or aversion to serve Krishna. This aversion and ignorance of the devotee's heart is removed by Narsingadev. Sharadindu Rachim Mande. Narsingadev's face is compared to the moon. Moon is always very pretty and beautiful, but especially in the autumn season, very big moon may manifest on the eastern horizon. So that is how the very blissful face of Narsingadev. Ah. Parindram Badanam Hari. Understand? So, Nrsinga Devi is the source of all knowledge, learning. Vagisha Yasavade Lakshmi Yasati Vakshasi Yastastir De Samritam Nrsinga Mambade. Always pray to Nrsinga Dev and also Radha Krishna Guru Varga. So thank you so much for attending this class. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. Manchakalpatra Vaishya Kripa Sindhu.
Tomorrow, Maharaj,
Ah,
tomorrow I'll be singing a chant or I can do a kirtan
tomorrow,
on the class tomorrow morning.
tomorrow morning is your class is there.
Yeah,
Tomorrow is
with,
Java
with,
Dharma,
with
Maharaj.
Prabhu, Mohan Prabhu.
Mohan Prabhu, Zoom class.
Mohan Prabhu, yes. In the afternoon 5 o'clock, my timing, 5 to 6.
Yeah, so it will be 6 for me here. So we
Yes,
can
yes.
do either we do a kirtan or we'll sing and you will chorus me.
Sure, sure. Actually, that is a Bhakti channel. They wanted to do it 24 hours a day. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Kirtan is no limit. Shri Hari Vasari Hari Kirtana Vidana Nrityaram Vila Prabhu Jagatira Pran. Punyavanta Srivasa Angana Subharamba Utila Kirtan Dhani. Gopala Govinda. Mahaprabhu on the day of Ekadashi from morning till night and till the next morning 24 hours dancing and singing. So Mahaprabhu's dharma means Kirtaniya Sadahari. Understand? We have one Diksha mantra that is Kirtaniya Sadahari.
So
24
you should,
hours Kirtan. There is no time should that we should not bring Kirtan. Kirtan is most welcome because another advantage of Kirtan is that um, Kirtan is purifying for everyone. Japato Hari Namani Sthani Guna Shatadika Atmanam Cha Punatyutyar Japan Shatran Punadija. In Japa, it will purify your own self. You must do Japa. Try to chant 4 rounds, 16 rounds, 64 rounds, or even more, 3 lakhs, as per your ability. But Kirtan also is 100 times more powerful than Japa. Understand? Because Kirtan is purifying everyone, while Japa is purifying one's own self. Understand? So that's why Kirtan gets precedence. When especially Kirtan is going on, don't put your hand in the bead bag and do Japa. Understand? Yes, you must do Japa, but when Kirtan is finished, you should do Japa. But when Kirtan is going on, why do Japa? Like I said, chanting the holy name of the Lord Hari loudly is 100 times more powerful than chanting softly. A person who chants loudly purifies himself as well as those who hear him chanting. So like this is some people think that the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare is to be recited only in Japa, not in Kirtan. Some people say like this. They prohibit the loud chanting of this Mahamantra. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who personally practiced and propagated Bhagavan Nama Sankirtan, has declared this mantra to be the Mahamantra of the Yuga. He personally practiced Japa of this Mahamantra, recording the number of names he chanted. In addition, he performed Sankirtan in which there was no recording of the number of names chanted, but deeply overwhelmed uh, in spiritual emotion. Understand? So, like
yeah,
Mahaprabhu is raised with appraised heart, used to chant. When Mahaprabhu used to dance in front of Jagannath cart and he's chanting, he's not counting how many times he's doing, but he's raised hands. Hare Krishna Uchis Hridarasano Nama Gadana Krita Granthi
yeah,
Shredi Kati Subaka Sutrojala Kara Vishalaksha Dirgargala Nijugala Khilanchita Bhuja Sachaitanya Kim Me Punarapindrishwar Yasati Pada. So Mahaprabhu used to do Kirtan loudly. Understand? So this Nama Kirtan is always welcome. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So Maharaj, you can come on Ekadasi Day on Friday. You can join us and we can do a kirtan for our.
Sure. Ekadashi is especially 100 times more benefit will come on Ekadashi. Ekadashi means all our senses should be used in the service of Krishna. Understand? And that day Kirtan is very important. Because that day no other business should be there, only Kirtan and Harikatha. Kirtan and Harikatha. Out of the 15 days, at least one day we should dedicate to Krishna. Understand? And this time we are fasting on 25th. 25th we have Mahadvadashi. And in India, Maharaj told we should fast on 25th. Maharaj actually told take fruit on 24th and do Nirjal on 25th. I don't know how many devotees will do that, but Still, at least
Do
25th.
do what again? What?
He told that 24th take only fruit, and
Oh, okay,
25th
okay.
and 25th to Nirjal Ekadashi. He's telling like this. Maharaj suggested that. That is a very good idea, but actually we have to see our ability and then
Yeah.
try to. But you know, generally sometimes confusion comes. Some people say Ekadashi is on 24th, and some people say that it is on 25th. So I asked Sripad Dandi Maharaj, and he told me that 25th we should follow. That is Mahadvadashi. So then I said, okay, I will do on 25th. Understand. I don't mind taking fruit on both days because already that will help me so much in reducing my weight. Understand. But anyways, Ekadashi is very beneficial day. It is, Swami Maharaj used to say that to be do bhakti you have to be fit, not fat. But unfortunately I am fat. So Ekadashi helps me cut down some weight. Understand. And it also charges up my metabolism. So health is toxins are eradicated. It's a very good day. Understand? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. But
Thank
anyway,
you
we are
for that,
not this
Maharaj.
body, we are spirit, soul. Understand? So nothing to worry about body. Should not be on the
Yeah.
bodily consciousness.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
That's an advice I will consider and do it.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thanks.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna
Thank you,
Maharaj.
Isaka
Thank you,
Didi.
Dandavat.
You must be
Thank
sleeping
you,
so
Maharaj.
late there in South Africa now. Sorry, keep
What?
you waiting. Ishaka Didi must be sleeping. She is like almost into midnight.
No, no, Maharaj, not midnight for me. For the Hong Kong devotees and Rasa Mita Mataji, it's midnight,
Oh,
past midnight for them.
oh my goodness. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Hare
Yes, but
Krishna.
they still order, they listen. So
Okay,
thank you,
okay.
Maharaj.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
thank
Hare.
Maharaji, thank you for blessing the baby.
No, I'm very so happy to see the baby.
Yeah.
Actually, that today also I was talking to devotees. I was telling them that devotees, population of devotees increases, no harm. If there is more devotees take birth in the devotee family, they are never a burden on the earth. They are always a blessing. Understand?
Yes.
Devotees population should increase. Understand? So the devotee
Mataji.
takes birth is always auspicious because his devotees by their presence they purify the earth. Understand? So Bhagavan says
Mataji.
himself that I am controlled by my devotees. Understand? अहम भक्त पराधीनो नहीं अस्वतंत्र इव द्विजा साधु ग्रस्त हृदय भक्तो भक्त जन प्रिया. So devotees are the heart of Krishna and Krishna is the heart of the devotees. Understand? So your son, your child is a devotee and you are also a devotee. So it is very, you have accepted Sripad Dandi Maharaj is also very exalted devotee. So this is very, very important that we try to associate with the devotees and raise our children as devotees. Actually, mothers they are actually embodiment of sacrifice. Understand? They do so much seva, and we cannot repay the mother. Like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he asked his mother that he said, "You want? I will stay in Navadvip." But Sachimata told him, "No, no, you don't stay in Navadvip, otherwise people will criticize you. You stay in Jagannath Puri. You don't go to Vrindavan." And he said, "Okay, I will not go to Vrindavan. I will stay in Jagannath Puri." And he Mahaprabhu stayed in Jagannath Puri after taking sannyas. So actually, Yoga Maya inspired Shachi Mata to give order like this. Because if Mahaprabhu would have gone to Vrindavan, then what would have happened? Then he would, the deer will come and lick his body, and then peacocks would come, cows would come, but the calves would come, and they will be attracted to him, and then he will develop the mood that I am Krishna. He will forget that I am Radha. So that's why going to Vrindavan was not so beneficial for Mahaprabhu's aim and object. His aim and object was to relish the mood of Radha. So therefore he stayed in Jagannath Puri by the order of his mother. But this order also apparently was inspired by Yoga Maya, Srila Gurudev is telling. So that he will develop the mood of Radharani separation, the Prelam Bhav. Understand? So that's why uh, but Mahaprabhu, he followed, he bowed down to his mother. Mother is so glorious that even after sannyas, a devotee, when a sannyas devotee should also has to bow down to his mother, not to the father but to the mother. He doesn't bow down to the father, no harm, but mother he must bow down because mother is so much serving the child. Understand? So we cannot repay our mother. Only mother understands. So like that. Understand? So it is always exalted position to be a mother, and you have so you are playing that role. So Srila Gurudev also they asked him that one lady asked him that where is your mother? She said Gurudev said my mother is not has left the world and she's gone to the spiritual world, but I have so many mothers. And he told that old lady, you are also my mother. And he said all my female disciples I see them as my mother only. Actually, Vaman Goswami also used to see all his disciples as mother and used to address them as Ma. So woman is always a mother. Actually, she is a small girl. Also, she is a mother. If she's a small girl, she is a future mother, and so like that. So always look upon the mother, women as mothers. They are always mothers to the mankind. Understand? And they are very merciful. Hare Krishna. Manchakalpa Parveshika.
Hare Krishna.
Mother, baby.
Huh?
Yeah.
I asked Mataji to show me the baby.
Okay, sure,
Baby.
Mataji. Sure, Mataji. He is playing now.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Oh, अच्छा अच्छा ये जगह है क्या?
Oh, hello, Angel.
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा.
Thank you for coming in the world. Hello.
ये बहुत शांत है.
हाँ
बहुत शांत सा हो गया.
हाँ
Yeah, he's an angel.
बहुत शांत है. बहुत अच्छा बहुत अच्छा.
All right, Mataji.
Yeah.
Thank you.
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा. Thank you, Hong Kong devotees. Sorry for delaying you. Okay. Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you for blessing the week. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for joining. Ananga Mohan Prabhu, Jai Diwani, please. Thank you.
Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharva Giri Dhari Radha Vinod Bhari Ji ki Jai.
Jai.
Om Vishnu Pada Ostotara Shat Shishimar Bhakti Vishnu Deity Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Om Vishnu Pada Ostotara Shat Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Ostotara Shat Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai. Jai.
Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Ostotara Shat Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai ho.
Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Stotara Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai. Jai.
Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Stotara Shata Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai. Jai.
Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Stotara Shata Shri Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Nitya Lila Pravishta Parama Bhagavat Pravara Shri Srila Gauri Kisore Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai. Jai.
Nitya Lila Pravishta Shri Srila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai.
Jai. Jai.
Nitya Lila Pravishta Vaishnava Sarva Bhoma Shri Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai ho. Jai.
Shri Gaudiya Vedanta Acharya Shri Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai. Jai.
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki Jai.
Jai ho.
Srila Narottam Srinivas Shyamnanda Prabhu Traya ki Jai.
Jai ho.
Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai ho.
Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Jiva Gopal Bhatt Das Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai ho.
Sri Swarup Damodar Raya Ramandadi Sri Gaura Prasad Vrinda ki Jai.
Jai ho.
Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki Jai.
Jai.
Prem Sato Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki
Jai.
Jai. Shri Antardvip Mayapur, Simandvip, Godrumdvip, Madhyadvip, Koladvip, Ritudvip, Janudvip, Modra Drumdvip, Rudadvip, Patmakashi, Navadvip Dham ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Govardhan Dvadash Vanatmakar Shri Vrajamandal ki Jai.
Jai ho.
Shri Radha Kun Sham Kun Ganga Yamuna Tulasi Bhakti Devi ki Jai. श्रीमती वृंदा देवी की जय, श्री पौर्णमासी योग माया की जय, श्री गोपीश्वर महादेव की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय, श्री श्वेता मंडल की जय, सर्व विघ्न विनाशकारी श्री नरसिंहदेव की जय, भक्त प्रवार के प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, चार धाम की जय, चार संप्रदाय की जय, चार आचार्य की जय, अकर मर्द राज श्री चैतन्य मात की जय, श्री श्री केशवरी गौड़िया मात ओता सका मात समूहा की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री चैतन्य श्री मधुर कदम्बिनी की जय, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, साम गांत भक्ति वृंद की जय, श्री निठाई गौर प्रेमन हरि हरि बोल।
हरि हरि बोल। जय अच्छा कर्म करो विश्व कृपा सिंधु दानम पावन वैष्णव नमः। थैंक यू। हरि धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Ananga Mohan Prabhu. Just a quick announcement for tomorrow, Java Dharma on the Zoom class. So it's USA time 7:30 a.m. in the morning, Hong Kong time 7:30 p.m. in the evening, and South African time 1:30 p.m. So please, dear devotees, do join tomorrow. I will forward the link now to everybody. Tomorrow is a Zoom class with Sripad Bhaktivedanta Vishnu Daivata Mj. So please do join for Java Dharma. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Vaishnavebhyo. Thank you, Maharaj, so much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad. Hare Krishna devotees. Dhanyavad.